Hello, I'm Dr. Nancy, a wellness educator focused on healthy aging. Today I want to talk with you about a warning sign many people overlook. It hides in everyday life, shows up at inconvenient times, and often gets dismissed as just getting older. I'm talking about the quiet connection between memory lapses and bladder symptoms. When your brain and your bladder start sending mixed signals, your body is asking for attention. If you learn to listen, you can protect your clarity, your confidence, and your independence. Let's start with something simple. You walk into a room and forget why you came. Later that night, you're up twice to use the bathroom. The next day you feel foggy, a little irritable, and your patience is thin. None of these moments alone feel dramatic. Together, they tell a story. The brain and the bladder are partners. They share nerves, blood flow, circadian rhythms, and the chemistry that sets your energy for the day. When that partnership falls out of sync, it can whisper first, then shout. Why would memory and bladder control be linked? Think of your nervous system as a conversation between brain circuits and pelvic organs. The same networks that help you filter distractions and remember where you put your keys also help you delay the urge to urinate until it's the right time and place. When those networks are tired, dehydrated, inflamed, or interrupted by poor sleep, both memory and bladder timing suffer. The result is a pattern many adults notice after 50. More urgency, more night awakenings, more tip-of-the-tongue moments, and more frustration. There's another layer. Certain over-the-counter and prescription products that dry up the bladder can also cloud thinking because of their effects on brain receptors. Many people take these without realizing the trade-off. You feel fewer urges, but you also feel dull, forgetful, or unmotivated. That's not a failure of willpower, it's chemistry. The good news is that your daily routine can nudge these systems back toward balance, not by pushing harder, but by restoring rhythm. Let's map the most common patterns. If any sound familiar, see them as information, not as a judgment. First, the dehydration cycle. You sip coffee in the morning, eat lunch on the go, realize mid-afternoon you've barely had water, then drink more in the evening because you feel thirsty. You go to bed with a full bladder and wake up in the night. Night waking fragments your sleep. Fragmented sleep makes memory fragile the next day. The fix starts earlier than you think. Second, the overdrive cycle. You move fast, multitask, and hold tension in your jaw, shoulders, and lower belly. That constant low-grade tension tightens the pelvic floor. A tight floor is not a strong floor. It's an exhausted floor. It becomes jumpy and reactive. You feel urgency sooner and more often. Mentally, this same overdrive shortens your attention span and makes recall slower. The reset begins with breath and with letting the belly soften. Third, the timing mismatch. Your internal clock loves routine. When meals, movement, light exposure, and bedtime float, your brain never gets a clear signal of when to consolidate memories and when to cue the bladder for restful nights. You don't need a rigid schedule, but you do need anchors so your system can predict what's next. Predictability calms the bladder. Predictability strengthens memory. Fourth, the chemistry trap. Some products meant for allergies, sleep, pain, or bladder urgency can slow the brain. The effect is more noticeable after 50. If you recognize that fog after starting something new, that information matters. There are often gentler alternatives and lifestyle supports that reduce the need for heavy-handed solutions. Let's build a plan that restores the partnership between memory and bladder. Simple steps, real benefits, no drama. Hydration has to get smarter. Start the day with a full glass of water within 30 minutes of waking. Add a second glass mid-morning. Have a third after lunch. Sip one more mid-afternoon if you need it. Then taper. This front-loading approach gives your brain the fluid it needs when it needs it, supports blood flow, and reduces evening thirst that leads to midnight trips. Many people are surprised by how much clearer they think when their hydration is morning heavy and evening light. Balance your minerals. A pinch of mineral-rich salt and a squeeze of citrus in one of your morning waters can help your fluid actually reach your cells. People who chronically limit salt sometimes chase thirst all day, then drink late, then wake at night. The goal is not excess. The goal is balance. If you have specific guidance about salt because of your health history, follow it. If not, that tiny pinch can make hydration feel more satisfying, and a satisfied body asks less at night. Train the bladder kindly. During the day, notice the first whisper of urge. Breathe 3 slow breaths. If the whisper becomes a clear signal, go. If it fades with the exhale, you just told your nervous system you're in charge. That practice, repeated, rebuilds the reflex that allows you to wait a few extra minutes without anxiety. Never force, never hold through pain, and never delay during the night. Daytime is for gentle training. Nighttime is for peace. Teach your pelvic floor to relax. Sit on the edge of a chair with feet flat and knees hip-width. Place one hand on your belly. Inhale through your nose and let the belly rise. Imagine the pelvic floor gently melting like warm wax. Exhale slowly and let the belly fall. Do 6 breaths twice per day. If you've been clenching for years, these breaths become medicine. A relaxed floor coordinates better. A coordinated floor follows your lead instead of startling you with urgency. Anchor your circadian rhythm. Get morning light in your eyes soon after waking. 10 minutes outdoors is ideal. Eat your largest meal earlier in the day or keep dinner light. Move your body every afternoon, even if it's a simple walk. Dim lights 90 minutes before bed. When your brain recognizes a pattern, it prepares memory consolidation and bladder quieting on schedule. Clean up your evening triggers. Caffeine hides in more places than coffee. Tea, chocolate, and some sodas can keep the bladder lively and the brain restless. Alcohol might help you fall asleep, but it disrupts the later stages of sleep when memory consolidates. It also irritates the bladder for many people. If you choose a drink, do it earlier, with food, and be honest about how your body reacts. Calm is more valuable than tradition. Support your gut. Digestion and elimination influence the bladder because everything shares space in the pelvis. Aim for fiber from vegetables, berries, beans if you tolerate them, and whole grains if they suit you. Hydration plus fiber creates regularity. Regularity reduces pressure on the bladder and sends safety signals to the brain. That safety matters for memory. A comfortable body pays attention better. Mind your medications and supplements thoughtfully. If you started a new product in the last weeks and noticed more fog or forgetfulness, write that down. If you take something to dry up urgency and you also feel mentally slower, write that down too. Bring a clear list to your clinician and ask about alternatives with less impact on thinking. Your goal is not to tough it out. Your goal is to keep the brain sharp and the bladder steady without sacrificing one for the other. Build a wind-down ritual that your body recognizes. Choose a consistent start time. Turn down lights. Power down screens. Make a cup of warm herbal tea without caffeine if it sits well with you. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly, and breathe a 4-second inhale and a 6-second exhale for 5 minutes. If you like, read a few pages of a low-stimulation book. This sequence tells your bladder that the day is ending and tells your brain that it can shift from task mode to recovery mode. Recovery is where memory files itself correctly. Let's translate this plan into a simple week-by-week structure so you feel guided. Week 1 is awareness and hydration shift. Move most of your water to earlier hours. Keep a small log of wake times and bathroom trips at night. Notice what days feel clearer. Don't change too much at once. 2 wins are better than 5 attempts that fade. Week 2 is breath and relaxation. Add the pelvic floor softening breath twice daily. Keep your evening lights low and finish dinner at least 3 hours before bed. If you snack, choose something small and simple. Your log will start showing patterns. Most people notice that when they breathe and dim the lights on time, they wake fewer times even if they haven't changed much else. Week 3 is timing and training. Practice the 3-breath pause with daytime urges. Add a 15 to 20-minute walk most afternoons. Keep caffeine to morning only. Your log should now reveal your personal triggers. Adjust from data, not from guesswork. Week 4 is refinement. If certain beverages or late meals push you into night wakings, move them earlier or swap them out. If your hydration still leans late, adjust again. Bring any medication questions you've discovered to your next appointment. You're not asking for permission to feel well. You're inviting a collaboration that protects both memory and bladder function. Now let me give you a few quiet warning signs that deserve attention. If you suddenly need to urinate much more often and you also feel confused or unusually drowsy during the day, don't ignore it. If you notice burning, pain, fever, or strong-smelling urine, seek care. If you have new trouble starting urination, experience a weak flow, or feel that you cannot empty the bladder, that also needs evaluation. If your memory changes are abrupt and paired with dehydration or a recent illness, address the basics fast. Fluids, electrolytes, rest, and timely guidance can prevent a small problem from becoming a big one. Now, 3 short stories that mirror what many people share after they connect these dots. Elena kept a late dinner habit and a late hydration habit. She was up twice a night and felt forgetful mid-morning. She shifted 2 glasses of water before noon, took a mid-afternoon walk, and dimmed lights early. She still woke once some nights, but she fell back asleep faster. Her memory felt crisper by 10 a.m. She didn't become a new person. She became herself again. George held his belly tight without noticing. He often felt urgency in the supermarket line and forgot the last item on the list. He practiced the soft belly breath during commercials and in the car while parked. 2 weeks later, he said he could wait through checkout without panic and remember the item. The breath didn't change his age. It changed his physiology in real time. Marisol used a nighttime product to help with allergies and slept, but woke groggy and irritable. She spoke with her clinician and tried an alternative used earlier in the evening with less cognitive impact. Her morning fog lifted, and her bladder was calmer because she slept more continuously. Sometimes the win is not an extra supplement. It's removing the one that gets in your way. Here are small refinements that often make a big difference. Keep a lamp on the lowest setting in the hallway to the bathroom so your brain stays in nighttime mode. Use a gentle nightlight rather than turning on a bright overhead light. Place a journal by the bed to offload tomorrow's tasks before sleep. Lists on paper free your mind. Keep your bedroom cooler rather than warmer. A cool environment nudges deeper sleep. If noise wakes you, use consistent background sound like a fan. Consistency is the blanket your nervous system craves. What about exercise? You do not need a gym membership to help this system. March in place for 2 minutes after long sitting. Rotate your hips in slow circles while standing at the kitchen counter. Do gentle heel raises while brushing your teeth. These micro movements pump blood, reduce pelvic congestion, and teach your brain that your body is active and safe. A body that moves by day rests by night. What about nutrition beyond fluids? Start your lunch with vegetables most days to front-load fiber. Aim for protein that keeps you steady. If certain foods irritate your bladder, respect that signal. Spicy foods, very acidic sauces, or artificial sweeteners bother some people. You do not need to eliminate everything. You need to learn your pattern and make calm choices. Now let's talk mindset, because consistency lives there. Many adults tell themselves it's too late to change. That story is heavy. Replace it with a sentence that is light but true. My body adapts to rhythm. Say it when you drink water in the morning. Say it when you breathe in the afternoon. Say it when you dim the lights. The brain hears what you repeat. If you repeat chaos, it produces chaos. If you repeat rhythm, it produces rhythm. As you put this into practice, choose 2 metrics to track for 1 month. For example, number of night awakenings and morning mental clarity from 1 to 10. Keep the log on your phone or on a card in your nightstand. Data creates encouragement. Encouragement builds momentum. Momentum changes biology. I want you to carry one clear message from today. Memory and bladder control are not separate battles. They are 2 sides of the same system asking for rhythm. When you feed your brain earlier fluid, calmer evenings, softer breathing, regular movement, and cleaner timing, your bladder receives the same message. The body becomes a team again. If this conversation gave you clarity, pick 1 step you will take tonight. Maybe you pour that first glass of water and place it where you'll see it in the morning. Maybe you put a book on your pillow and decide that screens will end earlier. Maybe you practice 6 slow breaths with your hand on your belly before bed. Small starts are powerful when they are repeated. If someone you love has begun to worry about memory slips or nightly trips, share this guidance. Many people need hope that feels practical. And if you want more calm, science-light strategies to protect your clarity and your independence, subscribe and stay close. We will keep building habits that make your life feel like yours again. Disclaimer: this is educational content and not a diagnosis or treatment plan. Sudden changes in thinking, new pain, fever, trouble urinating, blood in urine, or concerns about medications warrant timely medical evaluation. Always consult a qualified professional before changing your routines if you have underlying conditions or take prescription products.